Andrea True's life was a paradox, a hedonistic rise through fame and infamy where art and commerce blurred under the glitter of disco balls. Born Andrea Marie Truden in Nashville, Tennessee, she was raised far from the pulsating rhythms of the dance clubs where her name would later echo. The quiet hum of the South had little to offer someone with her appetite for adventure, and so she fled, landing in New York City, a gritty wonderland ripe for reinvention.
You're in New York, you're single, and it's the late 1960s. What was your reaction to the city when you first moved there?
New York blew me away. It was almost overwhelming at the beginning. The fast pace, the populace, the heavy populace, the noise, the pollution, the hippies on the street, drugs. It took a lot of getting used to.
Her early years in Manhattan were marked by appearances in adult films, a controversial yet thriving industry that gave her a taste of life in front of the camera. But True wasn't content to remain a niche star in smoky backrooms. She craved more. Her first brush with musical fame wasn't crafted in the neon-lit studios of New York, but on the sun-soaked shores of Jamaica. In the mid-1970s, True was working on a commercial project in Kingston when political unrest turned the island into a pressure cooker. Fearful for her safety and unable to legally move her earnings back to the United States, she devised an audacious plan. She poured her savings into creating a music demo, calling on Greg Diamond, a producer with a knack for quick hits. It was an act of desperation and defiance, a gamble to turn stranded cash into something of lasting value.
Tell me a little about the school you went to.
I went to a convent boarding school.
And that was run by nuns, right? So was it strict?
Some people might think so, but I don't think so. The nuns were wonderful. And I had a wonderful time with all those kids to play with.
With just $1,400 and a crew of local musicians, they recorded More, 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 a song that dripped with the glossy sensuality of the disco era. Diamond's knack for hooks collided with True's breathy vocals, creating a track that felt like a siren call from Studio 54 itself. The horns blared with jubilant abandon, the bass line rumbled in syncopated delight, and over it all, True teased with a knowing smirk. How do you like it?
Yes, I am.
But you are on the charts in England, right?
Yes, so What's Your Name, What's Your Number, the new single that's going to be on the new album, is number 3 in England this week. I think it's top 40 by now because I just got here in America.
You'll come in Italy in a tour? When?
I'd like to again. Well, hopefully in 1978 with the new album.
It was a hit waiting to happen, but no one, not even True, could have predicted the wildfire success that followed. Released on the Buddha Records label in 1976, the single became an instant favorite in the disco circuit, where club DJs were kings and the dance floor was gospel. The song climbed to number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 and reached the top 10 in several countries. For a few glorious months, Andrea True was a household name, or at the very least, a name whispered in the dark corners of dance clubs across the globe.
What was their attitude towards sex education?
When they showed movies at school and the kissing part came in the movie, the nun would put her finger over the aperture so that we couldn't see the kiss. Isn't that stupid? Well, you know, that probably had a cumulative effect on me.
The media couldn't resist the allure of her backstory, a disco queen with a history in adult films. It was scandalously delicious. DJs leaned into the salaciousness, spinning tales of her past alongside the track, and listeners lapped it up. It was a story tailor-made for the voyeuristic streak of 1970s pop culture, where excess was celebrated and scandal sold tickets. True embraced it, never apologizing for her origins, but instead using them as a springboard for reinvention.
Did your parents teach you about sex when you were growing up?
They didn't. I don't know how. Well, but you know, the little girls, I remember how I found out a couple was parked outside our grounds and they were in the car making it, and we were leaning over the fence and another little girl came up and told us.
But beyond the tabloid appeal, More, More, More captured something vital about the spirit of the disco era. It wasn't just a catchy tune, it was a manifesto of indulgence. In a time when the dance floor served as an escape from social unrest and economic uncertainty, True's track offered a shimmering reprieve. Her whispery delivery wasn't just suggestive, it was an invitation to leave the mundane behind, if only for a few hours, and lose yourself in the rhythm.
And wasn't your mom a singer?
Yeah, my mother sang with the Frankie Yankovic Orchestra with her sister, and my dad sang in church.
Were you close to them?
I wouldn't say I was so close to my mother. I loved my dad a whole lot. Mom and I had our difficult moments.
True followed her breakout with NY You Got Me Dancing, a bouncier, more playful number that reached number 27 on the charts. While it lacked the cultural thunder of her debut, it proved she wasn't a one-hit wonder. Her 1977 album, White Witch, flirted with the edges of disco's burgeoning mysticism, but by then, the public's attention had started to drift. The industry that had lifted her up was already pivoting to the next sensation, and the lavish excesses of the disco era began to crumble under the weight of its own decadence.
Where do you think the acting bug came from?
I don't know where it did. I don't know. I don't know any little girl who hasn't thought at one time or another about not being an actress.
Did you watch a lot of movies?
Well, I saw television, a lot of television. We didn't go out to the movies much.
And did you look up to any of the big actresses at the time?
Yeah, I want to be like Anne Bancroft or Faye Dunaway or Betty Davis, you know. Debbie Reynolds is a good example of somebody that I admired that I would want to be.
By the early 1980s, Andrea True's career had hit a wall. Her final album, War Machine, was a commercial failure, its rock-influenced tracks unable to resonate in a world moving past disco's glittering facade. Health issues soon compounded her struggles. Throat surgery left her voice permanently altered, effectively ending her music career. True retreated from the limelight, working sporadically as a fortune teller and real estate agent, her time in the spotlight relegated to nostalgia for a bygone era.
As the success of the films grew, you seemed to really relish playing the role of the diva.
Yeah, I was very good at playing the star. I played it to the hilt, and I had a ball. Everybody knows that I brought limousines to the premieres of the films and got out of the limousine in an evening dress with an escort in a tuxedo. And as soon as I did that, everybody else started doing it, and it became a lot of fun. I don't believe that they had the big premieres before we hit the scene in those early films. I don't think so. I think we were the first ones. Did it have fun to make an impression? To play the star role? To be the star? Because I was the star.
Still, her music refused to fade quietly. In 1999, More found new life in Len's Steal My Sunshine. Its unmistakable riff looped into a sun-drenched summer anthem. The song's resurgence introduced True's legacy to a new generation, proving that disco's fingerprints remain indelible on pop culture. A further nod came in 2017, when Norwegian singer Dagny reinterpreted the track for a Target commercial, adding a modern twist to its irresistible allure.
And who was responsible for coming up with the song More? And what do you remember about recording it?
Greg Diamond took the credit for writing More. I wrote the lyrics, he wrote the music. I thought the lyrics were scratch vocals that we were going to re-record again, and we didn't. And the record went as it was. I remember we played it back in the studio, and it really sounded good.
How did you end up finding a US deal for the record?
The president of Buddha Records, Art Cass, knew me from my films, and that's why he signed me to the record contract. Signed me and Greg to the record contract. He thought my being a porn star and that I was well known would help sell the record, and it did. Up to a point. And then after that, people they didn't even care. They didn't even know. Did not know I was a porn star, especially overseas.
Andrea True passed away in 2011, leaving behind a story that defies tidy categorization. She was a woman who lived boldly, unapologetically, and without regret. Her moment in the musical spotlight may have been brief, but it was unforgettable. In the echo of her biggest hit, the question lingers, how do you like it? The answer, for anyone who ever danced to her track beneath a disco ball, is simple. We liked it more.